Welcome back to Poorly Educated Today in the News, the only show where the more complicated the world gets, the more determined we are to explain it using the intellectual horsepower of a lawnmower manual. And buddy, December 10th really tested the horsepower, because this country is juggling more crises than my cousin Ronnie trying to carry a stack of Walmart rotisserie chickens during a Black Friday stampede. We got politics breaking apart like a dollar store trampoline, the Federal Reserve doing guesswork like a guy tuning a radio by kicking it, international wars popping off like firecrackers on the 4th of July, and Trump out here doing an affordability tour while everything keeps getting more unaffordable. So settle in, crack open a can of something you definitely shouldn't drink before noon, and let's get into it. Segment 1. MAGA Family Feud, the Greene Crack-Up. Now folks, our first story is the political equivalent of watching your favorite wrestling tag team turn on each other mid-match, while screaming about betrayal and protein powder. Marjorie Taylor Greene, the once undisputed hype woman of the MAGA universe, has announced she's quitting Congress in early January. And she ain't going quietly. She's doing exit interviews like a reality TV contestant who lasted one episode but still wants a reunion special. She's accusing Trump and the GOP of abandoning the working class, which is pretty bold coming from someone whose district once held a parade for a CrossFit gym opening. She says Trump's gone soft on big pharma and big crypto, which is something I've never heard anybody accuse Trump of before. I'm sitting here thinking, lady, if Trump is suddenly pals with big pharma, why are my prescriptions still costing more than a used ATV? She's also mad because her border bills were gathering dust, which is funny, because Congress is the only place where dust accumulates faster than new laws. And Trump calling her a traitor really sealed the breakup. Man, if Trump's online posts were actual text messages, we'd all be in couples counseling. This whole thing is going to hit the 2026 midterms harder than my Uncle Pete hits the buffet shrimp tower after church. The GOP losing Greene's ability to rile up the most excitable parts of the base is like NASCAR losing its engines. Sure, the car still moves, but nobody's watching anymore. Segment 2. Trump's affordability tour, now with 90% less affordability. Next up, Trump rolled into Mount Pocono doing his brand new affordability tour, which is like naming a sinking boat the SS Totally Fine, Don't Worry About It. He tells folks prices are down tremendously, while residents are looking at their energy bills like they're reading ransom notes. It's the most redneck experience imaginable. Someone telling you your wallet's full while you're staring directly at the tumbleweed blowing through it. He bragged tariffs have brought in trillions, which is interesting because I know a trillion when I see one. And buddy, it ain't anywhere near my grocery receipt. His speech rapidly drifted from economics into good old-fashioned nativist fire, like when your grandpa tries to explain inflation but ends up yelling about Norway. Trump revived the whole shithole countries thing, except now it's specifically about Somalia, which is a bold move in Pennsylvania's 8th district, where suburban voters already look stressed enough without hearing presidential stand-up routines about Scandinavia. Honestly, this whole affordability tour has the vibes of a man explaining that your truck definitely runs better now that the engine fell out. Segment 3. Healthcare costs. The blast radius that hits everybody. Now look, you know things are bad when Washington starts messing with healthcare again. Senate Republicans are gearing up to cut Medicaid by $900 billion by 2034 and let ACA subsidies expire, meaning millions will lose insurance like we're doing a nationwide magic trick with the now you see it, now you don't routine. Except instead of pulling a rabbit out of a hat, we're pulling medical bills out of people's souls. They call this the completion of Trump's one big beautiful bill, which sounds less like healthcare policy and more like something he'd sell on QVC at 2 a.m. They say it's about fiscal responsibility. But every time a lawmaker says those words, somewhere in America, a hospital billing department cackles like a Disney villain. This whole thing's a political seesaw. Blue states lose Medicaid funding, red states lose ACA subsidies, and everybody loses patience. Even my cousin Skeeter, who pays for health care exclusively by trading deer jerky, said this is a bridge too far. Segment 4. The Federal Reserve cuts rates using vibes and prayers. Over in the world of money magic, the Federal Reserve is holding a meeting while missing 43 days' worth of data from the government shutdown. This means they're about to adjust the entire U.S. economy using the analytical precision of a redneck, trying to guess the weight of a pickup truck by kicking the tires. Markets think the Fed will cut rates by 25 basis points, which is financial speak for, we hope this doesn't explode too much. Some folks at the Fed say the job market is collapsing. Others say inflation is hiding behind the bushes, waiting to jump out like a possum in heat. Without actual data, the whole FOMC is basically playing financial darts with a blindfold on. They might cut rates, but then tell us don't get too excited, which is exactly what my last doctor told me during a physical, and frankly, neither situation inspires confidence. Meanwhile, Oracle has earnings coming in hot, and investors are sweating harder than a politician at a lie detector booth. Oracle's got $111 billion in debt, which is more than the combined loan totals of everyone who ever bought a lifted F-150 they couldn't afford. If Oracle flops, the whole AI market might deflate faster than my cousin's air mattress after he mysteriously sat on a fork. Segment 5. The Media Wars. Paramount, Netflix, WBD, and Uncle Sam's nose in everything. Now, if you thought your family drama was messy, buddy, Hollywood is out here doing cage matches. Paramount Skydance launched a $108 billion hostile takeover of Warner Bros. Discovery, trying to snatch it away from Netflix like a raccoon stealing a corn dog. But here's where it gets spicy. Trump hates the Netflix deal and loves the Paramount deal, and the Paramount deal is financed in part by Jared Kushner. Oh boy. Nothing says free market like your son-in-law showing up with money from 3 Gulf monarchies and yelling, "I can fix this." Meanwhile, WBD's board is looking at 2 options. Take the lower Netflix deal and get sued by shareholders, or take the higher Paramount deal and get investigated for foreign influence. It's a real choose-your-own-adventure, except every page ends with a subpoena. My favorite part is Paramount complaining the board won't call them back, like a teenage boy texting, "Why you ignoring me?" to a girl who's very clearly not interested. Segment 6. International Chaos. Thailand, Cambodia, and the limits of tariff diplomacy. Remember when Trump bragged he stopped a war in Southeast Asia using tariffs? Well, turns out tariffs are not magic war cancel buttons, because Thailand and Cambodia are now slugging it out with rockets, drones, artillery, and probably whatever else they found lying around. Cambodia supposedly fired 3,000 rockets in a day. 3,000, buddy. I can't even commit to 3 push-ups in a day. Thailand evacuated 400,000 civilians. Cambodia evacuated 127,000, and both sides are refusing to listen to Trump's attempts to intervene. Thai leaders literally said, "We're not stopping just because Trump calls." That's the diplomatic equivalent of sending a new phone. Who dis? It's messy, it's tragic, and it turns out national pride and ancient border disputes do not respond well to tariff coupons. Segment 7. Tech Wars, Supreme Court Drama, RFK Jr. goes full skeptic, and local weirdness. Last segment, folks, because this news day is stacked thicker than gravy on biscuits. Trump announced a deal letting NVIDIA export H200 AI chips to China while taking 25% of the revenue. Republicans are mad. So mad you can hear the steam whistling out their ears like busted kettle lids. National security hawks say we're basically handing China the keys to the AI kingdom. Meanwhile, the DOJ is still indicting people for smuggling older NVIDIA chips. So it's both illegal and legal, depending on how fast the news refreshes. And over at the Supreme Court, they're deciding whether an inmate with IQ scores between 72 and 78 can be executed. Which is extremely unsettling because half the people making the decision would probably also test in that range if given a pop quiz. Then RFK Jr., now running HHS like it's a Facebook comment section, ordered a safety review of infant RSV drugs based solely on concerns from vaccine skeptics. This man managed to turn the FDA into the world's fanciest rumor mill. Next week, he's going to ask the CDC to investigate whether Mercury is in retrograde. Meanwhile, in Miami, Democrats flipped the mayor's seat for the first time in almost 30 years, which tells you Trump's immigration rhetoric is hitting Latino voters about as well as a karaoke singer who doesn't know the words. And Virginia's governor handed out amnesty to VMI cadets like Santa Claus if Santa were a tall Republican who wears fleece vests and runs on vibes. In conclusion, America is juggling political implosions, healthcare cliffs, wars, mergers, tech fights, and the Federal Reserve doing guesswork, like a man repairing a tractor with duct tape and prayer. The world is chaotic, the stakes are high, and yet somehow, we're still here doing this show, trying to make sense of it all using the brain cells God gave us and the ones we found in the parking lot. This has been Poorly Educated Today in the news, and if the world keeps acting like this, we'll never run out of material. Though we might run out of patience and sweet tea. Stay safe, stay weird, and stay poorly educated.